it's hard for me to distinguish between a person that is very humble and a person that doesn't have much self-esteem about what they do. I might go out and try and talk to strangers, and that's kind of, sometimes that's when you feel lonely. Hi, my name is Chet. I'm from America, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Manny Brothers sandwich.
Why do you choose to come to Taiwan?
At the time, I was really enthusiastic to go live abroad, and I kind of had two choices, Taiwan or Japan, and I had worked with a team here for a few years, so Taiwan sort of made sense. Japan, on the other hand, is a place where I'm sort of terrified of their working culture.
You talked about the working culture or working condition in Japan.
I've been to Japan a few times and met people there, and like, even if they might work at the same company as me, they'll tell me things like, yeah, I'm going to work late tonight, so I won't be able to make it to dinner. And be like, oh yeah, okay. Like, yeah, I'll probably be here until 3 in the morning. Like, you've got to be kidding me. That sounds terrible. I'm so sorry.
That's terrible. Yeah. And how long have you been in Taiwan?
2.5 years.
During your stay here, have you encountered any difficulties?
There's so much about Taiwan that's just wonderful and beautiful and convenient and reasonable. I think, honestly, the biggest issues I have are kind of social issues.
Social.
Trying to make close friends is something that's rather difficult.
How do you make friends?
You know, you go out to bars, parties, events. I'm really into music, so I like to go to shows and talk to people there. I might go out and try and talk to strangers, and that's kind of, sometimes that's when you feel lonely. Sometimes you get lucky and you meet some of the best people you've ever known. Other times you're not sure why. It doesn't seem like anyone really wants to have a conversation.
Viewers out there, if anyone knows the best way to make friends or to connect with Taiwanese people, please leave it in the comment section below. You could go to many other countries other than Taiwan and Japan. Why Taiwan in particular?
Well, I kind of had some connections through work. So Taiwan was a place where I was able to get sent, even though the world was very much locked down during COVID times. So that was sort of logistical, but every time I had been to Taiwan, I'd been to Taiwan maybe 10 times prior. I've loved it. It's been beautiful. It's easy to get around. There's a lot to do. Yeah, it's a really nice place.
What is one or two main cultural difference between Taiwan and the US, or from where you come from in the US?
Yeah, I came from Silicon Valley, which is a world where you kind of have to constantly be talking about yourself, talking yourself up. You meet a stranger, you gotta like convince them that you can do X, Y, Z, and that's gonna be interesting to them. Which was something I really got used to. When I came here, I was kind of in that mode, and I think that made for some strange conversations. One of the big cultural differences is that there's a much greater emphasis on study and grades. So you go to school, then you leave and you go to cram school. And when you're done with cram school, maybe you go home and study, then you go to bed and you repeat. There's not really an emphasis put on do so-and-so outside of school, take up sports or music or something that's exciting to you. As I understand it, that's just not really a very strong cultural value, but there's much less push to talk about yourself and advertise yourself in that way. It's a very humble culture, whereas in America we're screaming and shouting for dramatic effect, lighting things on fire. It's crazy. If I try to strike up a conversation by talking about some of the things that I'm excited about, I often get a response that feels like people pull away. I've got like, oh, well, I'm not very good at that, and then they start to feel bad about themselves. I don't want to make you feel bad about yourselves. I'm trying to learn about you and trying to learn what's exciting to you. And so I've sort of learned to stop doing that in conversation, which is, I think, unfortunate, because that's a part of me that I really love.
You shouldn't change, just be yourself.
Well, yeah, no, I want to be myself, and I do. But in some ways, if you drop down in a strange and different world and you be yourself, people aren't going to understand that. Right? You sort of learn to put yourself through a translation that helps them understand what you're thinking. Because if they just look at your actions and they try to interpret that through their own cultural lens, they're not going to get, what you mean. It takes a rather long time to learn those differences about people.
Okay. What part of Taiwanese culture do you find mostly interesting?
I think there's a certain unpredictability to Taiwan. When people ask me like, "Oh, I'm coming to Taiwan, what should I do?" I have no idea. You should walk around the streets. Which is not as direct a thing as you should go to this place and do that thing. I just don't feel like there's a set of instructions for enjoying Taiwan. The coolest things I've seen have just been walking around the street, random stuff. Just walk around the streets. You'll see goofy things. It's great.
How is it like living in Taiwan?
I mean, it's logistically easy. It's easy to get around. If I am going to something in the south of Taiwan, I might do 10 minutes of walking, and the rest is public transportation. That's impossible in America. You have to have a car to go to the damn grocery store. But, yeah, Taiwan is a convenient life. If I wanted to speak like almost no Chinese, I could still survive here.
During your stay here, have you come across anything strange or unusual or unique?
One thing that's fascinating, I sort of love this about Taiwanese people, but it also is a bit of a curse sometimes. They don't seem to have much of a sense of what foods belong with which other foods. And this is where the creativity here comes out, I think. Everyone who watches this channel, I imagine, knows what Pizza Hut is up to. This is not an advertisement for Pizza Hut. I think those things are monstrosities. But interesting things come out of just combining random foods together. One of my favorite dishes at the Richao is fengli xiaqiu. And it's shrimp, deep fried shrimp with pineapple and a little bit of mayonnaise on it, which maybe that's a little strange, but you know what they put on it? They put birthday sprinkles on top. And when I first saw that, I was like, what the hell is this? I love it. I do love it. Because I asked my friends, I'm like, this isn't traditional Taiwanese food. They're like, yeah, it is. I guess one of the things that I find kind of confusing and challenging, I'll occasionally meet people that have all kinds of gifts and skills that they just don't seem to value because maybe nobody's ever told them that they were good at those things. I find that kind of heartbreaking. I think sometimes like when I tell them, I'm not even sure if they believe me. But it's hard for me to distinguish between a person that is very humble and a person that doesn't have much self-esteem about what they do. As a loud, crazy American, maybe that's somewhere where I have value in Taiwan, is to help people understand that like these things that they're excited about that aren't like go to work and make money have value. They make society a richer, more beautiful place, and they should be proud of those skills.
What do you find mostly annoying in Taiwan?
Rules. Oh my God, people love rules so much. It doesn't matter if the rule is important or not. It's just the rule is the way. I went into a 7 in the middle of the night once, and I was looking through the fridge and I saw an orange there, covered in mold. And I took it up to the guy at the counter and I explained to him in Chinese, this is expired. And he looks at the sticker. He says, no, it isn't. I told him, like, you should try it then.
It has a mold on it.
It's covered in mold. You can barely tell that it's an orange. And he's like, it's not expired.
Just because the label says
because the label says it's not. I'm like, it's a piece of paper. It's crazy, this obsession with the rule being the way. There's very little flexibility in that. Yeah. And I think there's a much more connection between legality and ethics. Mm-hmm. Like if you don't follow the rules, you're not so good of a person, perhaps. I don't know.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
I guess I would like to see people be more open about what they're feeling and kind to others. And people are very professional, very friendly to you, especially you go into their business, they want to help you out, especially if they see that you're from somewhere else, but they don't give me the sense that they really have any interest in anybody else's challenges, like even someone they might consider to be a friend. And I had someone very dear to me in a rough time tell me that until now I didn't understand it, and I didn't realize that anyone cared for me at all. How does society get to that point, right? He's a friendly person, lots of friends, you know, but they don't often connect very deeply. So yeah, I guess I would like to see a little bit more patience and kindness towards others.
Okay.
Even though people are very nice, you kind of have to see it for a while to understand the duality between niceness and kindness. You got a cool place here. You got a beautiful island. I very much have loved the time I've spent here. If you see me around, come talk to me. I'm not going to bite you.
Anyone out there who is interested in doing things, check out. His Instagram link will be in the description below.
Yeah, reach out.
Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
welcome to Taiwan.
Welcome. It's weird to be welcomed after so many years, but
Yeah.
thank you.